Hi, welcome to VNN. We have with us the Honourable Monte McNaughton, Ontario's Minister of Labour, Training and Skills Development. As we all know, he is handling one of the most important portfolios in the government and doing it very well, judging by the many initiatives undertaken by his ministry. Welcome to VNN, Minister McNaughton.
Well, I'm really honored to be with you today.
I know now we'll start off with this about this horse racing careers, and you have this training program that you have started. Can you tell us something about this?
Absolutely. I mean, Premier Ford and I are on a mission to get people into meaningful jobs. We want people earning bigger paychecks so they can support themselves, but most importantly, their families. One of the things we recently announced was a $2 million investment to get 250 people trained so they can take up jobs in the equine and horse racing industry. There's a huge labor shortage right across Ontario, including in the horse racing and equine industry. I mean, today 1,000 jobs are going unfilled. Many people love working with animals, and so we've introduced a training program to recruit 250 people into these jobs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how many racing grounds are there in Ontario? I mean, how many jobs do you expect in the industry?
Well, as I said today, 1,000 jobs are going unfilled. This specific training program will recruit 250 women and men to pick up careers in the equine industry or the horse racing industry, whether it's groomers or people caring for these animals or working in stalls or at tracks. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there. And again, people want to live a life with purpose and meaningful careers. And there's a lot of interest in this program.
So do these cover farms and stables as well?
Absolutely. The agriculture sector is really growing in Ontario. There's a lot of opportunity in the agriculture sector. This is just one of the initiatives that we've launched recently, Premier Ford and I, to help people get into meaningful jobs.
So is this a joint government and sort of private industry venture, or is it just the government alone?
No, we're partnering with the horse racing industry and the equine industry. They're providing training plus paid work placements, and the government's partnering with some financial assistance to ensure that when people do a work placement, they're getting paid for that.
And I was reading that it's a huge sector, isn't it? It's a $2.3 billion worth. That's quite a large sum.
Absolutely. I mean, many people don't realize that agriculture is either the first or second largest part of the economy in Ontario. And as you mentioned, the horse industry alone is over $2 billion. And it's actually growing in Ontario. Under the former Liberal government, they basically wanted to close down a whole bunch of racetracks. We've now stabilized the industry, and it's looking to have a really bright future. But like many other businesses, they're short of employees and workers. So we're partnering to recruit 250 people into these meaningful and good jobs.
How is the response so far? It's encouraging.
Been really positive. Obviously COVID-19 has changed life for everyone. But the good news is, for those people that maybe lost their jobs during the pandemic or had their hours reduced, there are a lot of great opportunities out there, better paying jobs for people. And the government is here to provide that training to connect them with those in-demand, meaningful jobs so they can build stronger families for themselves.
And of course, and then moving on, we said last week you announced about this $1.5 billion rebate from the WSIB.
Yeah, this is really to help small businesses across the province. Premier Ford and I announced a $1.5 billion rebate to businesses. 95% of the businesses receiving this rebate are small businesses. So for example, if you have about 80 employees, it could mean a rebate of about $28,000. Again, this is all about ensuring that, businesses can grow coming out of the pandemic, bigger paychecks for workers, more health and safety protections for workers as well.
But you said that employers will reinvest this money into their businesses and workers, but there is no way to guarantee that. I mean, they might just consider it as an additional income, isn't it?
Well, certainly this money that the WSIB collects is paid on behalf of employers, and they've paid for many, many years WSIB premiums. But we've really driven a lot of change at the WSIB. They're running more efficient. We have new leadership there. And my goal is to get money back into the economy. I believe that people spend money better than government. And why should we have billions of dollars sitting in a government agency's bank account? We know in the past when premiums have been reduced, many companies have given bonus checks to employees. They've invested in health and safety programs, and I believe employers will do that this time.
So WSIB has a lot of reserve funds today.
Yeah, they've certainly turned it around. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It was actually on the brink of bankruptcy, but I'm proud to say that we've made a number of changes down there, and the future looks good.
But couldn't the government have used this money for, say, to start more training programs or for safety expenses, etc., instead of handing it over to businesses?
Well, the WSIB, is an insurance system here in Ontario. They pay benefits out to injured workers, and the benefits to injured workers won't be impacted by the rebates to the small businesses across the province. But again, this is good news for those small businesses. The restrictions will be lifted on March the 1st, and these rebates will follow in April. Again, better to have the money back in the local economy than government hanging on to it.
That's true, yeah. I mean, this is new skills trades Ontario agency. I think that good news, I think, that you tweeted this morning. There's been a jump in the number of apprenticeship programs and registrations, rather.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. I mean, careers in the skilled trades are well-paying, lucrative. When you have a trade, as the Premier says, you have a career for life. We're making huge progress on getting people to sign up for apprentices and apprenticeship programs. So under the former Liberal government, registrations fell by 40%. So today we actually had 20,000 fewer people in the skilled trades because of the former government not prioritizing the trades. But we made a number of changes. We're promoting the skilled trades, sending a message to parents and young people and guidance counselors that these are great careers. There's more than 140 different trades to choose from. And we've seen an increase of 15% in apprenticeship registrations under Premier Ford.
Are companies involved in this, several private companies?
Well, any employer out there that has skilled trades workers can sign up apprentices, and we encourage them to sign up apprentices. We need to build that next generation of skilled tradespeople in Ontario, of course, to grow our economy.
And what's the incentive that the government is offering to these employers to hire apprentices?
Yeah, everything we're doing is around ending the stigma around the skilled trades, simplifying the apprenticeship system, and getting employers to hire more apprentices. So we're actually offering up to $17,000 for employers to bring on apprentices. So the incentives are huge. But today in Ontario, we have tens of thousands of jobs going unfilled. And if we want to build transit projects and hospitals on time and on budget, we need the workforce to do that.
That the government will have to spend a lot of money, isn't it, to subsidize this thing?
Well, I believe it's government's responsibility to have a workforce so we can attract investment here. Look, there's a huge demographic shift happening. I mean, 1 in 3 journey persons in the trades today is over the age of 55. So we have this, this challenge coming where people are retiring. And again, we're investing historic amounts in new hospitals and subways and transit systems and broadband, that we need the workforce to build these projects. I
mean, it's better than bringing in immigrants, isn't it?
That's part of the solution. I mean, I moved in the fall to recognize international credentials. So if you were trained in a country outside of Canada, we're recognizing your professional training that you've received,
Mhm.
and we pass that legislation in the fall.
I mean, I think the best idea would be to change the entire education, the system, or not the system, rather the direction, so that students will move into trades instead of going to universities and taking up degrees in humanities and the arts, and which doesn't pay at all later.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're introducing the skilled trades as early as kindergarten. And just in September, we sent dozens of recruiters into high schools across the province to attract people into the skilled trades, really to compete head on with university recruiters, just to level the playing field and talk about the opportunities in the trades.
I mean, what about these international students who come in? They don't, would you encourage them also to opt for trades?
Well, of course, the immigration system is complex. The federal government has the majority of jurisdiction, but I will say on that, last year, Ontario had 9,000 spots through the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. We've called on the federal government to double that this year to 18,000. And we are prioritizing skilled trades workers and healthcare workers to come into Ontario to really to get these great jobs that are out there.
Any new initiatives coming out this month from the ministry?
There's lots happening. I mean, we're continuing to really do everything we can to help workers get bigger paychecks, more workplace protections, and more opportunities for better jobs. So there's lots coming in the days ahead.
That's very interesting. Anyway, I think, we have had thank you, Minister McNaughton. Well, we had a chance to listen to Minister McNaughton about his ministry programs to keep Ontario at the forefront of development as the economy recovers from the pandemic. And thank you, Minister. And
Great. Thank you.
I hope you'll appear on our channel again.
And stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Minister.
Bye.